Good day everyone, welcome to our Fisheries Board Exam Review. This video aims to help students in passing the board examination for fisheries graduates, formerly known as Licensure Examination for Fisheries Professionals. In this video, we are going to answer and discuss some board exam review questions under the area of aquatic resources and ecology. Topic: Aquatic resources.
So, let's get started.
Number 1. This refers to any body of freshwater flowing from an upland source to a large lake or to the sea, fed by such sources as springs and tributary streams. A. River. B. Dam. C. Pond. D. Lake. The correct answer is A. River. River is a ribbon-like body of water that flows downhill from the force of gravity. A river can be wide and deep, or shallow enough for a person to wade across. Number 2. This is small, shallow body of standing water in which quiet water and extensive occupancy by higher aquatic plants are common characteristics. A. Lake. B. Pond. C. Dam. D. Reservoir. The correct answer is B. Pond. Pond is a body of water naturally, artificially impounded for sustainable domestic, fishery, agricultural, industrial uses. Number 3. This is an artificial pond or lake created by placing a dam in a valley or depression. A. Marsh. B. Dam. C. Reservoir. D. Swamp. The correct answer is C. Reservoir. Reservoir is a man-made lake that is primarily used for storing of water which can be evenly distributed between locations. Number 4. It is defined as a body of standing water occupying a basin and lacking continuity with the sea. A. Pond. B. Dam. C. Lake. D. Reservoir. The correct answer is C. Lake. Lake is a very flowing or non-flowing open body of water in a depression and not in a contact with the ocean. Number 5. This is the standing body of water such as lakes, swamps, ponds, reservoirs. A. Benthic. B. Lentic. C. Ametic. D. Domitic. The correct answer is B. Lentic. Lentic ecosystems are those whose water is still, and are made up of ponds, marshes, ditches, lakes and swamps. These ecosystems range in size from very small ponds or pools that may be temporary to large lakes. Number 6. A structure designed to hold back water in a lake, river, stream or other body of water. A. Dam. B. Lake. C. Pond. D. Reservoir. The correct answer is A. Dam. Dam is a structure built across a river or stream to hold back water. People have used different materials to build dams over the centuries. Ancient dam builders used natural materials such as rocks or clay. Number 7. This is the freshwater lake in the province of Batangas. A. Lake Lanao. B. Tall Lake. C. Laguna de Bay. D. Pauay Lake. The correct answer is B. Taal Lake. Taal Lake, also known as Talisay Lake and Bombon Lake, is a circular freshwater lake located in the province of Batangas, in southern Luzon with over 26,700 hectares. Number 8. This is the lake that mixes from top to bottom during annual mixing cycle. A. Ametic Lake. B. Miromictic Lake. C. Polymictic Lake. D. Holomictic Lake. The correct answer is D. Holomictic Lake. Holomictic lakes have with uniform density and temperature regardless of depth in a particular period of the year. The majority of the lakes in the world are holomictic. Holomictic lakes exist in 3 distinct types, and they include monomictic lakes, domitic lakes, and polymictic lakes. Number 9. A place where a river curves in the shape of a U. A U-shaped frame forming a collar about an ox's neck and holding the yoke in place. A. Permafrost. B. Cryogenic. C. Riverine lake. D. Oxbow lake. The correct answer is D. Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake formed at a former oxbow where the main stream of the river has cut across the narrow end and no longer flows around the loop of the band. Number 10. Submerged vegetation which provides habitats for algae and small invertebrates. A. Epilithic. B. Epibenthic. C. Epiphytic. D. Epistamic. The correct answer is C. Epiphytic. Epiphytic plants are also important to certain animals that may live in their water reservoirs, such as some types of frogs and arthropods. Number 11. The major fishing grounds in the Philippines are blank. A. West Palawan waters, Sulu Sea, Visayan Sea, Moro Gulf and etc. B. Philippine Sea, South Sulu Sea, Samar Sea. C. Davao Gulf, North Sulu Sea, Samar Sea. D. Visayan Sea, Davao Gulf, Moro Gulf. The correct answer is A. West Palawan waters, Sulu Sea, Visayan Sea, Moro Gulf and etc. The major fishing grounds in the Philippines are West Palawan waters, Sulu Sea, Visayan Sea, Moro Gulf and others. These fishing grounds constitute more than 64% of the total commercial fishing catch from 1992 to 1995. For municipal fisheries, these areas including Bohol Sea contribute 41% of fish catch for the same period. Number 12. Top 3 major lakes found on the Philippines. A. Taal Lake, Lake Mainit, Nojan Lake. B. Laguna de Bay, Lake Lanao, Taal Lake. C. Lake Lanao, Taal Lake, Lake Mainit. D. Lake Buluan, Lake Bato, Lake Pagusi. The correct answer is B. Laguna de Bay, Lake Lanao, Taal Lake. Laguna de Bay that is located in Laguna and Rizal, Lake Lanao from Lanao del Sur and Taal Lake located in Batangas. According to BFAR 2000 at the book Philippine Fisheries Profile, total area, hectare, of Laguna de Bay is 89,076, Lake Lanao 34,000 and Taal Lake is 24,356. Number 13. Marine total territorial water area, including the EEZ, is blank. A. 2,100,000 square kilometers. B. 2,200,000 square kilometers. C. 3,200,000 square kilometers. D. 1,200,000 square kilometers. The correct answer is B. 2,200,000 square kilometers. The marine total territorial water area including the exclusive economic zone is 2,200,000 square kilometers. 266,000 square kilometers in coastal and 1,934,000 square kilometers in oceanic. Number 14. Top 3 major fishery exports in terms of value. A. Seaweeds, shrimps or prawns, tuna. B. Tuna, grouper, seaweeds. C. Shrimps or prawns, octopus, tuna. D. Tuna, seaweeds, shrimps or prawns. The correct answer is D. Tuna, seaweeds, shrimps or prawns. The top 3 major fishery export in terms of value in the Philippines is tuna, seaweeds, and shrimp or prawns. Number 15. The earliest law documented came more than 250 years after Morga. A. Spanish Law on Waters of 3 August 1866. B. Administrative Code of 1917. C. Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. D. Republic Act No. 10654. The correct answer is A. Spanish Law on Waters of 3 August 1866. Antonio de Morga, a Spanish historian and ethnographer, suggested that the size of the nets used for fishing should be regulated. However, the earliest law documented came more than 250 years after Morga. This was the Spanish Law on Waters of 3 August 1866, which recognized the right of the public to fish from the shore and granted rights to Spanish-registered seafarers and merchants. An extension of this law was named the Royal Decree of 8 August 1866, which declared that the shores, coasts and coastal seas are part of the national domain, although open to public use. Number 16. All lands of the public domain, waters, minerals, coal, petroleum, and other mineral oils, all sources of potential energy, fisheries, forests, timbers, wildlife, flora and fauna, and other natural resources are owned by the state. A. Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. B. RA 8435. C. The 1987 Philippine Constitution. D. RA 7160. The correct answer is C. The 1987 Philippine Constitution. The 1987 Philippine Constitution, the general principle of state ownership, which was adopted in the Philippine Constitution of 1935 and was also carried over in the 1987 Constitution. Article 7, Section 2 of the Constitution states that all lands of the public domain, waters, minerals, coal, petroleum, and other mineral oils, all sources of potential energy, fisheries, forests, timbers, wildlife, flora and fauna, and other natural resources are owned by the state. This is particularly helpful in arguing for state support to environmental conservation and protection. Number 17. Specific laws related to fishery, aquatic resources management. What is meant for Presidential Decree No. 984 of 1976? A. Environmental Impact Assessment. B. Water Quality Assessment. C. Overfishing Control. D. Pollution Control. The correct answer is D. Pollution Control. Pollution control in the country is generally governed by Presidential Decree No. 984 of 1976, which provides for the revision of Republic Act No. 3931, commonly known as the Pollution Control Law. Among others, PD 984 mandates the National Pollution Control Commission, NPCC, to formulate the policy, set pollution control standards, adjudicate violations and perform other regulatory functions. When the DENR was reorganized in 1987 with EO 192, the general regulatory functions were transferred to the regional offices, the policy formulation and standard. Number 18. In general, policy making for fishery and aquatic resources is located among three government units or agencies, namely blank. A. Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and local government units. B. Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, and National Fisheries Research and Development Institute. C. Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, and Department of Environment and Natural Resources. D. Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, National Fisheries Research and Development Institute, and local government units. The correct answer is A. Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and local government units. In general, policy making for fishery and aquatic resources is located among three government units or agencies, namely the Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and the local government units. The DA has jurisdiction over the conservation and proper utilization of agricultural and fishery resources. Number 19. The Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources lays down the following objectives except A. To improve aquaculture productivity within ecological limits and to optimize utilization of offshore fisheries and deep-sea resources. B. To improve product quality and reduce post-harvest resources, to conserve, protect and sustain management of the country's fishery and aquatic resources. C. To alleviate the poverty among municipal fisher folks and provide supplementary livelihood. And to provide a favorable policy environment conducive to increased investment and global competitiveness and people participation. D. None of the above. The correct answer is D. None of the above. The Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources lays down the following objectives. To improve aquaculture productivity within ecological limits. To optimize utilization of offshore fisheries and deep-sea resources. To improve product quality and reduce post-harvest resources. to conserve, protect and sustain management of the country's fishery and aquatic resources, to alleviate the poverty among municipal fisherfolks and provide supplementary livelihood, and to provide a favorable policy environment conducive to increased investment and global competitiveness and people participation. Number 20. Primarily it is the government agency responsible for the conservation, management, development and proper use of the country's environment and natural resources, including those in reservations, watershed areas and lands of the public domain, as well as the licensing and regulation of all natural resources utilization as may be provided by law. A. Department of Agriculture. B. Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. C. Department of Environment and Natural Resources. D. National Fisheries Research and Development Institute. The correct answer is C. Department of Environment and Natural Resources. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources was created in 1987 and is primarily the government agency responsible for the conservation, management, development and proper use of the country's environment and natural resources, including those in reservations, watershed areas and lands of the public domain, as well as the licensing and regulation of all natural resources utilization as may be provided by law. And that's all for this video. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.